Hello, this is my RAF graph. Like I'm just gonna show you the RAF graph I have. So I guess I would better go to the uh, Python to show you guys. So first of all, this is the first part of my presentation. This is about the Hispanic or Latino population in the U.S. So um, I was able to get a geograph on a Python pandas and to calculate the percentage of the Hispanic or Latino people, how like the percentage in each state. So yeah, so this is one stand for how many people claim they as a Hispanic and or Latino, and this is the total population. So I use this to divide by this, and I get the percent, and then according to the geo map, I get this map. So you can see the scale is not from 0 to 100. If it's from 0 to 100, most states, I mean every states export. Every states is no more than 50%, and some states is usually every states is lower than 40. There are some above 40, so I choose this scale as 50 to 40, and then so you can see this is every state. You can see there are some states in the percentage of the population is higher. For example, California, New Mexico, definitely 40, almost 45%, 35, and Texas. Yeah, so those states have a large percent of a population who is Hispanic and or Latino, which is not surprising because it's close to Mexico, I guess. And so I thought about put numbers in those states, but it turns out it's super messy because on a right up corner, those small states they will you have to make a number outside of the box and then pointing to those states. So it's super messy. And then so what I did instead, I put them in a bar chart and then horizontal bar chart. So and then I sort them in a list from the lowest to highest. So we can see, yeah, New Mexico is definitely the top one, and I also choose put in a number on the other side of the bars, which is give people a pretty good idea what the exact number is. So in Minnesota, it's almost 5% of population are Hispanic or Latino, which is not bad, but compared to the national data, it's still quite low. And one thing I want to talk about it is this is actually not 100, like exactly 50 states, because I do include DC in there, which is in here. So oh sorry, that's the here DC. So yeah, so while DC is not really a state, is still a district, so it's not 100% like a states, but I think it's also helpful to get a DC included. But Puerto Rico really not, because Puerto Rico the percentage is like almost 100, and which will mess up the scale of everything. So and will not fit in map, the geo map as well. So yeah, that's why I didn't really include the Puerto Rico in here. So yeah, that will be in the first part of my presentation. So I'll have this, I'll have that, and talk about these two graphs. For the second thing is I want to talk about the words population. Word similarity. So I did some web scraping, and I grab all of these data, and I will tell you where the website is from in my full resources video, and you can see in here I I grab all this data in English and Spanish, and I calculate the similarity percent. So this is how I calculate them. So in a word, if a letter appears in both side of the word, I will count as two. So first say in Sue and the his, there is a S in his and there is a Sue in S. So I'll count as S appears two times, and I use this S divided by the total number. First say there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 letters in total. So I will use 2 divided by 5, which gets this similarity percent. I know these two doesn't look like exactly the same, and then there are other algorithms to compare the similarity, but this is the best I come up with. And also you can see there are some words that the similarity is over 1, which is because I choose to grab all the every letter in there and every letter in here, so which is a continent. Actually they're exactly the same except for the letter E. So I grab all of these letters and divide it by the total number of where it appears. So actually these two appears 2 times and with extra E, which means there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then there are 18 letters in total, but continent appears almost 18 times, so which is over 20. So that is why they have a similarity over 1, which means it's extremely almost the same. So yeah, and you can see this plural plurales, I guess. So it's almost 85% similar, which is pretty much quite the same. So yeah, and so in that part I get all these data. I get this graph which tells you how in overall, in this 1000 most frequently used data, the English, how similar between an English word and in the Spanish word. So you can see it's pretty much a lot of quite similar. So I will use this data to tell people, as long as you know English, it's quite easy to learn Spanish for vocabulary perspective, because the words are quite same, so quite similar from both sides. And then one problem I have for this graph is if I copy paste this graph, it turns out the background of this graph is actually transposed. So in my theme of my presentation, these numbers will, I'll just show you. Oh, that problem got fixed somehow. Okay, I will keep working on that then. So yeah, actually I still want sharpen this graph, because I still can put a vertical line in here, and I also can put numbers, and also can group the datas, and I can make it a GIF, like Zach did. So yeah, I will keep working on this graph, and hopefully I will get some more datas. And those are two parts of my graph. And then for the third part, I still haven't come up with a good idea or a good way to present it in a presentation. So yeah, and so far this is what I got, and I will tell you, or I will resubmit this video, or in my final video, to show you how I will present everything in that one. Thank you.